Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my garden. My name is Alchemist Eris and today we're going to be talking about the color orange. I took a while to do my research on the color orange. As you guys know, I will call forth the energy of the color that I am researching, and I noticed things that maybe are going on associated with the color, how the color makes me feel, and so on and so forth. I will say the number one theme that I got from the color orange is transformation. Also, I would say beauty and rarity in a way. I really wanted to wait until after Halloween and the beginning of the fall season to really get the feel of this color, because as we all know, Halloween is associated with the colors orange and black, and I feel like Halloween is a time to be creative. It's also an interesting time in the spiritual community. It is known that fall is also the time where the veil thins between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, and I feel like there's some interesting things that I found that do correlate with that, so let's dive right in. The color orange shows up in many ways in nature. Think of an orange sunset, or the ways that leaves turn orange or even a reddish color before falling off of tree, signifying the change of seasons, right? Fall and winter from summer. It's as if all of that heat from the summer and the spring gets absorbed into the leaves and turns a like yellow, like orange, red, those traditional fall colors, and then just falls off the tree, signifying, changes in time, changes of seasons. Think of the autumn equinox or the fall equinox, when the sun passes over its equator and you get 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. After that, you transition into longer nights and shorter days, right? This symbolizes changes in weather, crop growth, and new beginnings. Think of the element of fire. Fire is also associated with the color orange as well as other colors, right? Like blue or even red. But fire is the element of transformation. It's also in alchemy known to transform and cleanse. So think about, burning sage to cleanse the energy of your environment, or burning wood to create a smoke and like a warmth in your house, right? Or think about how you boil water with a fire under it to create a steam, or to boil, a meal. Let's talk about the classic symbol for fall, pumpkins. I love pumpkins. Every year I try to make it a thing to go to a pumpkin patch or just pick out some nice pumpkins. Whether I paint the pumpkins or carve them or literally just leave them out in front of my house or around the garden, it just gives that fall energy, and it's also a symbol for prosperity and protection. So, pumpkins represent abundance, protection, and prosperity. People look forward to drinking pumpkin spice lattes, going to pumpkin patches, carving pumpkins. In some cultures, jack-o'-lanterns are used to ward off evil and guide wandering spirits. And we talked about this, where it's known in a spiritual community or just in spiritual beliefs that the veil thins after the fall equinox. So some communities say that spirits roam more freely, or the dead, right? We also have Dia de los Muertos that comes after the fall equinox. It was right after Halloween this year. So think about that. I also thought of something that was such a core memory from my childhood. I used to love, and I still do, watching Halloween Town every Halloween, and thinking about that movie, and thinking about like how I am now, like it totally correlates with each other. Think about how the grandmother, she could only travel during Halloween. She could only travel between her world and like the earthly reality that Marnie lived in, and like her family on Halloween, right? Also symbolizing the thinning of the veil during this time. Now let's talk about the theme of creativity when it comes to the color orange. Think about Halloween. I used to not be a big person, that was like super into Halloween. I felt like I just don't like scary stuff, honestly. But now that I have a kid and I've also like gotten older and I've just like started to learn more, I realized that Halloween is also a time for creativity and a time to kind of like express yourself and like an inner like fantasy, and it's okay to do it for that one day and like that one night, and you get to like celebrate with your friends and celebrate with your kids and just show the importance of creativity and imagination. Your sacral chakra is also associated with creativity. Your sacral chakra is around your reproductive organs. So think about that pure creative magic that just sits in you every day, whether you're a man or a woman. You still have that creative energy. You're able to create a life. I am really into sound frequencies, so I wanted to add in that you can get in tune with your sacral chakra by playing the note D on a piano or a guitar, or just listening to 288 hertz or 417 hertz or 606 hertz. Thanksgiving is also associated with the color orange, right? Because of all the pumpkins and the leaves that are like on the towels and like all the decorations that you get, right? So think about how Thanksgiving is a time to be creative with your dish, to create warmth in your home and, you know, bring loved ones together. Let's also talk about it from a beauty standpoint, right? Because creativity and beauty really do go hand in hand. I thought about how the Ulta logo is the color orange, and it might just be a coincidence, but I do feel like, you know, the color orange can invoke that spirit of being creative, like how you do your makeup or how you like are super meticulous and creative with your beauty routine and your skin routine, your hair routine, right? I think like when you focus on yourself in a way that expresses your beauty, you are also using your creativity. So while I was going through this train of thought of creativity and the color orange, I found out that Madam C.J. Walker invented her hair care products after struggling with hair loss. And she became, you know, a self-made millionaire. I think a lot of us already know that. But one of, you know, her first like advertisements was with an orange background, and it also could just be a coincidence, right? But I don't believe in coincidences, and I do believe that God speaks to you in many ways, and I feel like perhaps she was, you know, inspired by this color, and you know, it does go back to the beauty standpoint and of course creativity. Let's also talk about orange from a different standpoint. We already have transformation, creativity, and beauty going hand in hand with that. So now let's talk about how orange can sometimes be a color for representation of danger or to create more of an awareness. Just like I feel like similarly how the color red was, I feel like orange is also used that way when you see construction, right? You see like the orange cones and orange signs, right, to make you aware of what's going on so that you don't put yourself in danger. Also think about how oftentimes animals can be created naturally with bright colors to, you know, warn predators that, you know, they're not to be messed with, you know, they could be poisonous, you know, whatever it is. It also could just be in nature like a way to protect themselves. Think about the color of a Bengal tiger who's orange, or a piranha. They are both one of the greatest predators, you know, out there. I wanted to look at what orange animals had in common. Maybe it was characteristics, or like certain, you know, looks that they had, like, you know, maybe where the color is placed. And here's what I found. What they do have in common, orange animals, is the nature to attract, to camouflage, and their pheomelanin is what makes them, you know, orange. So think of it, pheomelanin is the component that makes gingers redheads. The Oriole use their color to attract mates, and letting females know how healthy they are. Tigers are less visible to their black and white seeing prey, as they can blend in with their environment using, you know, their color orange. So now we know that, you know, the color orange has different aspects to it. Again, we have transformation, creativity, and danger or protection. And just keep in mind that, you know, I feel like in life there's always positive and negative aspects to everything, you know, like light and dark, and we talked about that in our video about light. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it below. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the color orange. Is it your favorite color? I definitely have been getting into it a little bit with my makeup and my jewelry. It's hard to find clothes in the color orange, but definitely makes me feel confident. I would say like feminine, and yeah, standing out. I do feel like I stand out when I wear orange because it is a rare color. I don't see a lot of people wearing it, but it is, you know, the perfect time to wear orange. If you're watching this in the fall, try it.